All right, so let's get right into this. 10 things that I wish I knew before I started stacking silver and gold. Yes, back to basics. I love doing these videos. I get a lot of questions, and this helps you guys out. This helps me out. It's a win-win. So first of all, let me go over what I did pick up today. I did pick up, and one of them is a little damaged, but I got this from the LCS, and that's my fault. The other one is this 2017 Chinese Myth and Legend series. I want to say this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the Phoenix and the Dragon. Love that. Would love to get it in gold. Not paying for the full price. I'm cheap, extremely cheap. So I also did get in a glorious 10-ounce bar, which it's one of those. I mean, it's nothing you haven't seen here. I'll unwrap that as we go. But the damage to this, you hear that? That's the infamous Perth Mint capsule rattle. It comes in their gold, their silver, you name it. I dropped it on the ground on the way inside the house. But the capsule did its job. Coin's not damaged. And it's a simple fix, guys, because, and I've said this before, let me throw that over there. This is something that is easily fixed. And what I mean by that is this is a 40.6 millimeter capsule that fits the American Silver Eagle, right? This will go right into there, like so. Right in there, like so. And guess what? You hear that? That's right. Nothing. Am I saying go out and change all your capsules? Hell no. That'd be too expensive. All right. I also picked up a couple more Eagles from my local coin store. Into the content. All right. Number one, and this is the big one for me, is budget. Absolutely set a budget. Know your goal, know your limits. Increase your budget somehow or another by deleting debt or get more revenue streams coming into you so that you can acquire more silver and gold or so that you can invest in other areas, right? That's number one. Number two, I would say home security, something you should be doing anyway. But a lot of us out there are very, very cheap and frugal as it is. So home security, it's not a high priority on some people's lists. But it should be number one whenever you're storing thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of assets in your home. Number one is it's good for your family protection. Number two is sound peace of mind. Number three, it's just another layer that adds to the overall security that you need to have. Okay, so that leads me to number three. Now, number three is difficult because we all have different levels of incomes and we all have different needs as far as protection. And what I mean by that is we all have different amounts of money that we can budget. All right, so yeah, I did free that up. And look how bad that looks inside the bag. It just looks like trash. All right, let me rip this open too. So, as far as safes goes, and there's several definitions of safes. That's like a whole video you can make about safes. But I'm not going to do that. I will say that, and I'm not going to give away too much information because I don't want you to know what I have. This is a public video, so there's no point in me discussing what I have here or what I plan to have. So this is the 10-ounce RCM bar. If you got a channel named Clean Money, well, your money needs to be clean. That's just the way I like it anyway. Sorry. So back at it. Yeah. My pyramid's off. Oh well. I'll have to buy more. Safes. Okay. There's several kinds you can get. TL15, TL30 is what I recommend. If you can't afford those, obviously your residential security cabinet or your gun safe that everybody calls, that'll do. It's something. Okay, it buys you time. That's all it's going to do. There's nothing that's uncrackable or unbreakable. So it just buys you time. So what is that? That's three. Okay, so let's go to number four. What do I wish I knew more about? I wish I knew more about the tax laws. Now, you might be saying, well, I don't pay taxes. I don't pay taxes on my money. Sure, you don't. Obviously, you don't. And if you ever plan to sell, you most likely will need to know about those taxes. And depending on what type of bullion that you do buy, then guess what? It's going to matter a lot. I'm not going to go into the tax laws themselves because that is another video and it's so boring. I really don't want to do that video. But if you guys, ask for it and you play nicely, maybe I can get somebody on here who is an expert of that. I am not an expert in taxes. That's why I pay somebody to do those. But taxes, know your tax laws. There's viewers of mine all over the world. There's no way that I can tell you what specific tax laws, but I will give you the basics. And the basics are that whenever you're going to sell $10,000 in precious metals as far as silver, if it is not silver eagles, you get some forms submitted to the IRS. Yes, I do know that. And your LCS will probably submit them for you in your name. But unless you can somehow work out a cash deal, don't know. That's between you and them. But as far as taxes, I mean, you got local taxes, you got state taxes, you got federal taxes. It's just too much for me to cover. But know your tax laws and adjust to those tax laws. That's one thing that we all don't look at is the end game, and know your end game. Absolutely. It's a must. Number 5, I would say paranoia. Paranoia sells. It absolutely sells. It sells so well. I love it myself. I can't get enough of it. I actually do like watching that stuff, but it's terrible for you. It is absolutely terrible for you. And the reason why I say it's terrible for you is because it leads you to making the wrong decisions. Now, I did lay out a video not long ago. God, I think it was the last one, maybe. But I did lay that out, and it takes all of that out of the equation. Every bit of that, because you want to make a sound decision whenever you're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars in precious metals. You don't want to guess. I mean, do you guess with a vehicle? Do you guess with insurance? Do you guess with your wife? How else? I mean, you're going to guess on this? No, you want to get it right. You absolutely want to get it right. So paranoia, it can lead you down the wrong rabbit hole. It could lead to FOMO. FOMO is dangerous. FOMO gets you in trouble. FOMO gets you in debt. So be cautious when it comes to that. Number 6, juicy one. Silver or gold? Absolutely love this discussion. I prefer both metals, as you can tell. I absolutely do. I like having the security blanket that is gold. But then I like having a little bit of extra protection for my gold, which is silver. I don't stack to silver to speculate. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The premiums on it are far too high to really speculate with. Do I foresee a possibility of a GSR trade? Absolutely. Sure. You can't just throw that out the window and say that's never going to happen. But you also can't say I'm only stacking silver to end up getting more gold. Why not just buy the gold? But I mean, seriously, why not just buy the gold? Anyway, a lot of times people say I can't afford to buy gold. Well, save up. That goes back to the top of my list. Create some more revenue streams for yourself. Absolutely. Get out there, find a trade or something that interests you to where you can make money. Number 7, collectibles. I started stacking 20 years ago as far as collectibles goes. Now, the thing about collectibles is they're not necessarily associated with the spot price of silver or gold for that matter. And therefore, they hold their value a little bit better than the precious metals do. The precious metals are inevitably tied to the spot price of whatever currency you have in your country. Here in the United States, it's the dollar. So it is ultimately, this maple is just judged by, number 1, it being an ounce. Number 2, its value versus the currency here in the United States. So collectibles, they do serve a purpose if you get the right ones. Don't go on the TV shows and buy from there. I've been there and I've done that when I was younger. Oh, raked over the coals on that. Oh my goodness. Don't do those. Don't. I got suckered into it because I love watching that stuff and it's so enticing. They sell it so well. So stay away from those. And now let's get into number 8. Number 8, obviously, I love clean money. Capsules, protection for your bullion. Do you have to have it? No, absolutely you don't. You can just throw it around and leave it wherever you want. I don't care. That's your choice. It's your option. But capsules, absolutely, I'll tell you what, I like encapsulating my 10-ounce bars only because I don't like the bags that they come in. They look horrible. And not only that, but they're easily ripped. And then whenever they're ripped, guess what? Lets air in. Air causes sulfur, or the sulfur in the air causes toning on your silver. So encapsulation, it's not a must. It's not a must. It's not going to prevent milk spots. It's not going to prevent any of that. But what it does is it protects your collectibles. And for me, I like it because it makes and plus it stacks so well like that too. I like my 10-ounce bars in them. That's just the way I like to do it. But if you buy things like this, the tubes, you could just throw your eagles and your maples inside of those tubes. And you don't need capsules. You don't have to have them. Don't encapsulate everything. Let's be smart here. Let's be frugal. Number 9, I wish I knew more about coin flipping before I got into this. Now, I have been able to grow my stack significantly through flipping coins. I love doing that. It's so fun. It's just like I want to say it's kind of like a competition. You get a very limited mintage run and everybody's after it. Everybody. And some people have like their wives or grandmas or whoever else trying to get that for you. So I like to do that myself. I like to get multiples, and I like to, instead of keeping it, I like to go ahead and sell them, because me personally, I'm after weight. And the reason why I'm after weight is because I want more ounces, but it increases your stack. It absolutely does. It's kind of like a compounding effect for yourself. If you don't mind shipping and you don't mind taking the risk of all of that, absolutely. But you got to know which ones are going to be hot. And I got to say, anything reverse proof, Silver Eagle or Morgan's, definitely jump on those. Everything else is trash from the United States Mint. Don't do it. It's worthless. all the commemoratives, they never ever do well, and they never will. Which is why they're commemoratives. So don't go down that rabbit hole. But absolutely, flipping coins definitely works. It adds to the stack, and it creates another revenue stream. All right, so last but not least, number 10. And I'm going to go over this one because I'm going to combine two things, because I know cash is not something that everybody likes here in this world, but I think you should absolutely have a wad of cash readily available at a moment's notice. It should be 100%. If you have a bug out bag or something like that, or SHTF, you need to have a little bit of cash readily available, because unless you've been through something like that, and not everybody has been through something like that, but the closest thing that I've been through is a few hurricanes. And the thing is, when there's no power, all they take is cash. That's all they take. So having cash, absolutely critical, because guess what? When the power goes out, it's already too late to go get cash out of the ATM. Very important to have a little bit of a backup. I know it sucks. I know it stinks, but sometimes you get okay stripper perfume on there, but most of the time it's bad. But I will say that also stack your local bullion. Straight up, no joke, stack your local bullion. Unless you have a career that lets you travel the world and you can spend whatever, whenever, however, absolutely stack your local bullion. That's the biggest thing that I can do. Don't do what us here on YouTubers do and we buy different stuff from all around the world, because it adds variety to our channels. Stack locally, stack boring. There's benefits, there's tax benefits that, yeah, you may not take advantage of, but your loved ones will. So why leave them with a burden? Stack your local bullion, stack it high, stack it proud. And as always, guys, keep grinding on your stack.